checking out this market. Today we've got a bit of a green day, not too much happening. Altcoins are kind of trending upwards, which is quite nice to see. They need a little bit of a breather. Bitcoin is just holding its own around this 13.7 up towards that 14,000 odd mark. So Bitcoin's kind of range bound at the moment, which is nice for the alts because they can get a little bit of a breather. Ethereum is making a little bit of a move, which is good, which is dragging all the altcoins up with it, as it's the king of alts. Bitcoin is the king of crypto. Ethereum is the king of alts. And while Ethereum's running, then the altcoins will run as well. Heading over to our chart, this is our Bitcoin chart on the hourly. We can see that we're still in this range here, so in these two trend lines. This should, on the most occasion, break to the downside. It's tried to break to the top side twice and got pushed back down into here. There's going to be a lot of sellers taking profits around this 14,000 mark or 13,850 area, so that's a consideration to have. Got to look out for a small double top being formed here, and if it breaks down about this area here, 13,595, could see a little bit lower, come down and touch this 200 as well on the hourly, maybe down towards this trend line, but there's a good chance that it could pull back and down to the 200, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. You got to have pullbacks when you have pumps like this and pumps like this, then you've got to have pullbacks like this. So it's healthy. It is healthy for the whole Bitcoin market and crypto in general. If we come across to our BTC pairs, as you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all above 10% gains. So that's what you can see with Bitcoin just consolidating and moving sideways. The BTC pairs can run a little bit and have a little bit of a breather, and the money starts to flow down from Bitcoin down to Ethereum, down to the larger caps, and then further down to the micro caps and small caps as well. You can see against USDT or Tether, it's a pretty reasonable day as well. You can see here that's not too bad. You got $32 for AVE, and Koji's making a little run as well, which is good. They've got a fair bit of news coming up towards the end of the year. Swipe's come out, and they have Swipe X to be announced this week. So you can look at this and go, buy the rumor, sell the news. So they're trying to hype their coin at the moment. Make sure that you don't get caught up in too much hype. But you can see here that the Swipe chart has a bit of a double bottom trying to form. So it's trying to double bottom out. And who knows, we might see somewhere back up here to probably test this, and then hopefully we can come up and test 200, which would be pretty good. We have a good MACD cross in the full hourly. We have the histogram trending upwards. We are looking nice on the stotch. It's trending upwards as well, and our RSI is trending upwards. So it doesn't look too bad, with a bit of good bullish news as well. Obviously, do your own research around any of this and make sure you keep your cash close to your chest. Righto, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is in this big rounding bottom here, but you can see here it's touched this trend line here, or this resistance, which you can see back here as well, which was support as well, and now it's starting to roll over and we're heading back down. And you can see here the MACD is rolling over, histogram starting to roll down, and the RSI is coming out of the overbought section, so which is good. And every time it's come into the overbought section, there's been a big pullback for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, which has allowed the alts to run. So come across to the altcoin market cap. You can see here everyone's taken a lot of profits early, so you've got to adjust your strategy if you want to take your profits or hold in for longer. But in this kind of market right at the moment, you can probably see everyone through here is taking, on every little pump, they're taking profits really quickly. So you got to be quicker than everyone else in this instance. You can see here our stotches crossed over, and maybe we might get a crossover of the MACD as well, which will be a very bullish sign for the altcoins at this stage. Link is range bound at the moment, so it's just bouncing off these trend lines, a little bit in and out of them, but we're down at the bottom of this trend line now, so hopefully we can come back up and touch the top and maybe break out to the top side, as long as Bitcoin plays the game with us. But there's a good 18% there possibility off these two trend lines, both ways, of course. If it was to break this, there's probably a bit of downward movement down to about here on this kind of resistance as well, and support. We have Stotch is crossed over, which is nice on the daily, and this is kind of just working up and down, but it kind of looks like it's rolling over with the MACD. Over to Ethereum, small little move from Ethereum as we were talking about earlier, and this here could potentially take it further higher. If we get a break of this area here around the 410, 411 mark, and you're probably going to see 420. If we break 420, it's Moon Edition. Get your moon boots on. No, it will come up here 430 and so on. But it's very bullish if we can break this here. So you could kind of have a look at this. We got this nice rounded bottom here. It's pulled back, and hopefully we can come back up and around and break this 420 mark, which is going to be a bit of a psychological resistance as well. Having saying that, we've got a good MACD cross here. We're trending upways. Everything's trending upways, and the only thing here is we could have a consolidation while the stotch cools off a bit, and then hopefully we can trend a little bit higher. If you're liking what I'm putting out, give us a like, give us a comment. Cheers.